Hello folks, I'm here today to talk to you about this Spyder Opera. Now, I'm always late to the party. Almost every knife I buy, I've been late to the party, and I will admit, so hopefully still people want to look, but I think what's important is to talk to you about and why I want to make a video. But I'm not going to go over the specs or any of that. I'm just going to go over my impressions because I just got this a couple of days ago. And I'm going to talk to you about the quality of the 2002 knife. This is July 10th of 2022 versus a lot of reviews that are 2020, early 2021. There's a couple, or mid 2021. What does this knife look like in 2022 July? So here we go. I'm going to dive into it. I have a lot of expectations for this. I saw the knife in a store nearby that we have, and then I saw it on an online, promotion that the companies I've signed up for, Blade HQ or whatever, Knife Ship Free, send these, and I saw this and I was like, man, I am definitely not a notchback or the lockback type of knife owner. I'm not interested in cased knives or anything like that, or old-timey knives. But this one really caught my attention. Now, the reason why, obviously, I started out not being a Spyderco fan when I started getting the knives about 6 years ago. But then I bought one, and then I bought another, and then I bought 4 or 5 now, and I like them a lot. I do like the Spyder hole, and just the fit and finish, and most of the times they're pretty sharp, and they're just good knives, and they have good fit and finish, and they feel quality. I mean, I wish they weren't as expensive as they are, but that's just the price we pay. And I'll share with you, in 2022 knives have gone up by $20 between 2019 and 2022, so you would expect to pay probably about $180 for this knife, but I paid about $163 because I had some discount coupons, or I purchased a couple of knives at one online retailer, and they give you credits for every dollar you spent, so I had about $19 off, so I got this a little less expensive. But let me just jump into it, so the video is really short. I do not have big hands, and the knife is really short. People are saying I got medium-sized hands and large hands, and I can fit that on there pretty well. Well, I have kind of mid to small hands, and it's a snug grip. I mean, I can get my finger on there, but it's right there on the end. I mean, if I just bite down and hold it as tight as I can, close together, then there's a little portion that sticks out. Also too, I've seen, in the 2020 knives, or earlier versions, that they're on both sides. You can put the pocket clip on both sides. On this knife, you can only put it on one side. You can't. There's not the holes to mount the pocket clip on this side. And I like this pocket clip. I always will, and I have since I got my first one. So this is a great pocket clip. I'm not going to argue that fact. But fit and finish is really good. I'm not necessarily super impressed now that I have it in my hands as far as mine. I don't really want to take mine apart and get to the pivot screw, but you can, and you could fiddle around with that and adjust it a little bit. But as far as ease of movement, I know it has a bearing in there, but mine is probably could loosen up just a tad. I've oiled mine. I've oiled my, the lock back portion here all along, and I've oiled in here, and I've oiled in every spot, probably over oiled to try to loosen this up. It's not, terrible, but it's not $170 knife good. But let me just spill the beans. I'm happy with the knife. I'm not going to return it. I'm not going to get rid of it, and it's staying with me for a long time. So I'm not bashing the knife. I'm just telling you some things that when I got it that I figured out once I had it. So I've got some lock stick. People refer to that. I'm, like I said, not a big lock back folder knife person. Mine from the factory has this sticking when you push down on it. I've lubed it and everything, and it still has a little bit of a click when I do it. Maybe, and I've been working with the knife, folding it, opening it, closing it, opening it, closing it, and sitting there for long. I make sure doing this on the knife over and over and over to try to loosen up, and then break the knife and just kind of wear the parts in. But it maybe helped just a real minor small bit. But there's clearly a lock stick, and if I go in and I loosen up my pivot, then my blade centering is going to be off. And right now it favors this side to this side just a little bit. And so if I tightened it down more, then it might shift the blade over just a hair, just a small, maybe 0.5 millimeter. Not a big deal for me, but if I went and tightened it, it would move it likely to the other side, but then it would become even more difficult to open and more stiff. So just want to make some expectations and show people. Great knife, the fit and finish, this Canvas micarta. This is in 2022. This is Canvas micarta still. It's a great looking knife. It's got the rounded edges and the bevels and looks really, really nice. A little bit smaller, and that's okay. I knew it was smaller, but it's a delicate knife. I mean, not saying that it can't be used hard, but I just wanted to share this with people in the video. And maybe I need to be holding the knife closer to the camera to get a better view. Blade looks great. It's pretty sharp. I can sharpen a knife myself with a $50 sharpener and probably get a sharper edge, a hair popping splitting edge, but the edge is okay. It's good. It's sharper than some of the other knives I've gotten, and I'm not necessarily pointing out that Spyderco doesn't ship sharp knives, because most of them have been really sharp knives. But let me just set this down and I'll just show you real quick. Knives that I've had, I just kind of got this ZT-0450, I think what it is, the carbon fiber, really cool knife. I don't typically use these knives that are close to $180 to $200. I have a couple of lesser expensive knives that are still high quality knives. I consider high quality, that I'd rather use if I dropped it or if I lost it or anything unusual happened to it. I just don't want to damage these knives. I just like having them, and when I'm sitting at my desk, when I'm working, I can look at them, I can hold them. I mean, I cut things with them around the house when I need to, but they just basically stay on a display on my desk. Okay, so that's a ZT though, but let me show you just real fast. I got a Gale Bradley 2, amazing knife, awesome, heavy duty. A little bit more difficult to get your hand in there to open it, but that's okay. The knife is just an amazing knife. I'll put up with a Gale Bradley 2. It's got the carbon fiber laminate. Really killer knife. I'm really happy with that. That'll always be in my collection. And then I've got very popular Shaman, and this is the S30V DLC coated blade. Another great knife. And I just pointed out that with mine, and maybe all of them, but when you flip this open, the little part of the blade comes and pops your finger there. So when you close it down, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Oh, and it's right here. When the blade closes and you flip it shut, this little portion that sticks out, when you have your finger in there, when you flip it shut, it pops your finger. And it can kind of be a little disheartening because you're shutting a sharp knife blade on your hand, and that's just one little thing. But awesome knife, love it. I made a review, and I talked a little bit negative about some of the things, but another knife I love, I won't get rid of. That tells you that I'm a harsh critic, and that should maybe be helpful to other people that are harsh critics. But Shaman, the Shaman, Spyderco Shaman, yep. Another knife I have. And then I would say another one of my favorites is the Kapara. Let me wipe it off because it's got dust on it. It's the Kapara, and this is an amazing knife too. a little bit longer blade, and so a little bit more usable. But spider hole, amazing scales, carbon fiber scales, and just amazingly sharp and really great action on the knife. This is probably my most favorite, is the Kapara, and Kapara there. And then I would probably say, the Gale Bradley 2 is pretty cool, and probably in a good tie with a Shaman. And then I like this too. This is still a great knife. Don't get me wrong. I'm very, very happy with it, and I'm not going to get rid of it. It's just, the ease of opening and closing it are not, as easy as some of the others. Sorry that I have my camera in this position, but I can't really. There's no way I would be able to spotter flick that open, and with how it is. And then I have a difficulty, opening it real easy, one-handed, and then I definitely can't close it one-handed because the blade doesn't really drop further than that. It might, and then I got to come in, but that's okay. I mean, it's just a lock back, and that's what most lock backs requires 2 hands. The action on it just isn't super smooth. I mean, after 2 years of owning it, will it get smoother? Yeah, likely. And I have lubed everything up. And again, I don't want to go in and mess with the pivot because the alignment is pretty good right now. Favors one side just a little bit, but that's okay. So I just think this is, is where it is. But I just wanted to bring this review in 2022. Middle of the year 2022. So if someone's looking for this knife, now or in the next year, you can see a recent review. Okay, well, hopefully this was helpful. I got some other knives. I like people to look at my content. So click a like if you're motivated to, and make a comment. Don't make a mean comment. I don't like mean people, but just you can tell me what's on your mind. Okay. Have a good day, and bye-bye.